The objective of the experiment is first to determine the losses in the pipe fitting related to flow rate, and second to determine the loss coefficients related to velocity head, and the third is to compare the losses of energy head loss in different configuration pipe. First step is place apparatus on bench, connect inlet pipe to bench supply and outlet pipe into volumetric tank. Second step, with the bench valve fully closed and the discharge valve fully open, start up the pump supply from hydraulic bench. The third step, slowly open the bench valve until it is fully open. The fourth step, when the flow in the pipe is steady and there is no trapped bubble, start to close the bench valve to reduce the flow to the maximum measurable flow. And the fifth step, by using the bleed valve, adjust water level in the manometer board, retain maximum readings on manometer. And the sixth step, note readings on manometers and measure the flow rate with. And the seventh step, repeat the experiment with and the final step, repeat step 6, note readings on manometers and measure the flow rate with the volumetric tank. So this is the table for the answer that I have calculated before, and now let's redo the graph for the experiment. For the first graph is we take x values is velocity, and then the y value is 90 L1. So this is the first graph for the experiment, and then for the second graph we just change the y value, which is we take the 45 L0. So this is for the second graph, and then for the third graph we also change the only y value, which is the sudden enlargement. So this is for the third graph. Then for the fourth graph we take the sudden contraction. This is for the fourth graph, and then for the fifth graph we take the short band for the y-axis. This is the fifth graph, and then for the last graph we take the 90 L2. So this is the last graph. So this is the result for the experiment. First is the table, and then graph. This is the first graph, the second graph, the third graph, the fourth graph, this is the fifth graph, and this is the last graph. In conclusion, the experiment works perfectly and the result obtained have been recorded. The experiments have proven that for any flow of water inside a pipe and fitting will always have losses. Other than that, a different dimension of pipe and fittings have shown to affect the flow rate when water is flowing. Therefore, pipe and fittings are important in any piping system. Based on the experiment, I recommend using different pipe and fitting dimension and compare to other dimension to see the different in value. Other than that, use other liquid than water to see different in flow rate, as every liquid have different density. The application on pipe and fitting are in piping system to change the direction of liquid flow.